Most people fear getting older, but what if that fear is based on a massive lie? Society has conditioned us to believe that aging means becoming weaker, lonelier, and less relevant. But what if that's completely wrong? Psychologist Jordan Peterson offers a radically different perspective. He argues that aging isn't a slow decline, it's an opportunity to unlock a new kind of strength. In today's video, we're unpacking Peterson's wisdom to challenge everything you've been told about growing older. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you might just see aging as the most exciting phase of your life. Here's a question. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, once I hit a certain age, it's all downhill from here? The aches, the feeling of being sidelined, society has painted this as inevitable. But what if there's one key factor that could rewrite that story? A factor so simple, yet so powerful, that it could completely transform how you experience aging? Stick around. I promise, this will change the way you see your future. The truth about aging. Let's get real. Why are so many of us afraid of aging? Especially here in America, getting older often feels like a process of losing. Losing health, losing strength, even losing our place in society. You might start feeling invisible, like your best days are behind you. But Peterson flips that narrative upside down. He argues that the real problem isn't aging itself, it's losing purpose. Think about it. It's not the number of years that make people feel trapped. It's the lack of something meaningful to do with them. And here's where it gets really interesting. Peterson believes that responsibility isn't just something you need when you're young. It's something you need even more as you get older. Retiring and relaxing sounds great in theory, but in reality, it can lead to stagnation. Those who embrace new challenges, whether it's mentoring, volunteering, or pursuing a passion, tend to be healthier, happier, and more fulfilled. So let me ask you, what's one thing in your life right now that gives you a sense of purpose? Drop it in the comments. Your answer might just inspire someone else watching this video. Let me give you a real-life example. Meet Margaret, a retired teacher from Ohio. She thought retirement would bring her freedom, but instead she felt lost and disconnected. Days blurred into each other, and the joy she once had for life seemed to fade. Then she got into community gardening. At first, it was just a way to pass the time, but soon it became something much bigger. She started teaching younger people how to grow their own food, sharing her years of experience in the classroom in a new way. And guess what happened? Margaret's health improved. She woke up feeling energized, but most importantly, she felt valuable again. She didn't just fill her time, she reignited her life. And here's the thing, this isn't just some feel-good story. Science backs this up. Studies from Harvard and Stanford consistently show that older adults with a clear purpose live longer, healthier lives. They have lower rates of depression, dementia, and even physical illnesses. Why? Because meaningful activity literally changes brain chemistry. It boosts your mood, sharpens your memory, and keeps you engaged with life. Aging doesn't mean fading away. It means finding new ways to stay vital. And the good news? It's never too late to start. So, what about you? Have you ever taken up a new hobby or responsibility that changed your outlook on life? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Now let's get practical. How do you actually avoid the trap of aging? Jordan Peterson outlines a straightforward approach that anyone can follow. Step 1. Define what truly matters to you. What excites you? What gives you a sense of fulfillment? Is it family, a hobby, teaching, volunteering, or something else? Take time to figure this out because clarity of purpose is the foundation of a fulfilling life. Step 2. Seek responsibilities that align with your purpose. Don't run away from commitments. Embrace them. Volunteer, mentor, start that passion project you've been putting off. People who stay engaged live longer, healthier lives. Step 3. Build meaningful connections. Isolation is a silent killer. Staying connected is essential for mental and emotional health. Join clubs, attend workshops, or even engage in online communities. Surround yourself with people who appreciate and value you. At this point, you might be thinking, sounds great, but it's easier said than done. Maybe you're feeling stuck, lonely, or physically limited. That's completely understandable. But here's the truth. Overcoming these barriers doesn't require massive changes. It starts with small, intentional steps. If mobility is an issue, start online. There are book clubs, virtual volunteering opportunities, and even support groups for older adults. A single step can make a huge impact. Now let me introduce you to another inspiring story. Tom from New York. Tom was a retired firefighter from New York. For 72 years, he had lived a life filled with purpose, structure, and responsibility. But after retiring and losing his wife, everything changed. The days felt long and empty. He had nowhere to be, no fires to put out, literally and figuratively. Life, once so full of meaning, now felt like a slow fade into irrelevance. At first, he did what most people do. He tried to relax. But relaxation quickly turned into isolation, and isolation led to a sense of purposelessness. Every morning he woke up asking himself, "What now?" The answer was always the same: nothing. Then something clicked. He came across teachings similar to Jordan Peterson's, ideas about purpose, responsibility, and the power of staying engaged no matter your age. That's when Tom made a choice. He decided to volunteer at a local youth center. It was a small step, but it changed everything. At first, he wasn't sure if he had anything valuable to offer. But as he started mentoring teenagers, sharing his life experiences, something incredible happened. He felt alive again. His mood lifted, his health improved. He had energy, direction, and something to look forward to every morning. He wasn't just existing, he was thriving again. Tom's story is proof that aging isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding new ways to stay engaged. Now think about yourself for a moment. What's one simple action you can take today to add meaning back into your life? Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend, signing up to volunteer, or finally starting that hobby you've been putting off. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And who knows, your idea might just inspire someone else who's watching this video. Every single day, society sends us subtle messages that after a certain age, we're supposed to slow down, step aside, and accept that our best days are behind us. But let's stop and challenge that idea for a moment. Does aging really have to mean decline? Or could it mean something entirely different, something better? Jordan Peterson argues that aging isn't about ignoring limitations. It's about learning to work around them creatively. Maybe you can't run marathons anymore, but who says you can't coach younger athletes? Maybe full-time work isn't in the picture, but what's stopping you from mentoring or sharing your expertise online? The way you contribute may evolve, but your ability to create meaning never has to fade. So here's a sincere challenge just for you watching this right now. Take a moment and ask yourself, what's one meaningful, achievable thing I can start tomorrow morning? It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's as simple as reconnecting with an old friend, joining a local book club, or even starting a journal to reflect on your thoughts and ideas. Now write it in the comments below. Why? Because not only does putting it in writing make you more likely to follow through, but your idea might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And here's one more thing. If this message resonated with you, or if someone you care about needs to hear this, share this video. Not because I'm asking you to, but because conversations about aging need to change. Together as a community, we can shift the way we think about getting older. Not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come. If you're not already part of this channel, hit that subscribe button. We dive into topics that challenge the way we see life, purpose, and success at every stage. Let's redefine aging together.